And I came back to life, but not a zombie. So,
wow.
Anyway, moving on.
Hey, you know what we forgot?
Oh, what?
Video game word of the day.
I guess we just won't have one then.
Video game word of the day from this point forward is reminds me of.
Oh, you son of a bitch! That's hard.
Yeah.
What's the punishment? You can come up with a punishment too.
The one who says it has to record themselves playing a song with their guitar, and it has to be the theme of Corey in the House.
That just totally reminds me of this one joke that I...
Oh, now you have to record it.
I know, because I wanted to record that fucking theme song. I'm going to find that. I'm going to record that for next week.
All right, that was a quick in and out. So you got it, Genie's fellow Genie listeners. Next week you will hear Ryan's rendition of Corey in the House. Or maybe we can even post it on Instagram midweek. That sounds better. You have your work cut out for you,
it wouldn't be bad if we just started the next podcast with it, though.
That's true. Good luck.
I'm going to be fine. I love Corey. I love me some motherfucking Corey in the House.
In his ass.
Hey, Chewy! You see Corey? Yeah, he's in the fucking house. Okay. So, yeah.
What?
What? What? I'm glad that that's taken off.
I'm not going to start doing that now.
Yeah, you will. Because cause earlier, whenever I'm telling these people and they're listening to the podcast, and if they know anything about Corey in the House, which I'm sure they do, they're like, they're going to really make a remake of that? What? That's what they're like.
Okay, next section.
This is the most anticipated and disappointing games you've ever played. God damn it.
Ryan, start it off. What was your most disappointing game?
I guess when I was in college, one of the things I really didn't like that much was this game called Spider-Man 3 based on the motion picture. God damn, I just bit my tongue while talking like this. Fuck! Ow, that hurt! Okay, god damn it, I just bit my fucking tongue. Okay, so Ryan, Spider-Man...
What were your expectations and why were you disappointed?
I'm not going to keep talking like this. Okay, so Spider-Man 3, based off the major motion picture, is what I was trying to say before I was rudely bitten in my tongue by myself. Spider-Man 2, if you remember, based, again, off the major motion picture from director Sam Raimi. That was a great game. Spider-Man 2 was kind of the very first open-world Spider-Man game, and it was right after GTA 3 came out, so the big open world was a big deal back then. But the web slinging from like building to building was fucking incredible. It's one of the highest rated Spider-Man games, if not the highest rated Spider-Man game of all time. I'm serious, go look it up. And so Spider-Man 3, I was like, I was also disappointed by the movie too. I love Venom. He's my favorite, probably villain of like any villain. And I was like, cool, they're going to do... And the reason is because the origin story is so great. It gets on Spider-Man. Spider-Man turns bad for a little while, takes off of him. It gets on somebody that Spider-Man hates. That hates Spider-Man and Peter Parker, both. And this symbiote suit hates both of them as well. It doesn't fucking matter. You should know the story of Venom. I shouldn't be fucking having to explain this to you. So the point is, the game, Spider-Man 3, is going to have Venom in it, obviously, because Venom was a pertinent part of the story, or at least I thought, before going into the fucking movie. Problem with this, your first fucking mission, it was a terrible game. It was not nearly as good. It was made by Activision, I believe, but it was not nearly as good as the second one. The very first fucking mission you have, do you want to hear what it is, Fred?
Yes.
You have to go around swinging, and I guess you're trying to get Mary Jane's affection or something, and you're trying to collect hearts that are just in the air.
Nice.
Swear to fucking God. Like, that's the fucking... When I played that mission, I go, are you fucking kidding me, you piece of... I literally went at midnight to go buy that game, and then I watched the movie, I guess, at midnight too? I don't remember what the fuck... Anyway, I watched the movie opening night, and I went and got the game opening day. I was disappointed by both, and it might be the worst... The most disappointed I've been in my entire life is being disappointed by both the game and the movie. It fucking sucked, man. It really sucked.
This is a double whammy.
Yeah.
Actually, which brings me to one of my most disappointing games.
Sure.
Your double whammy, my Double Dash. And this is weird because Mario Kart Double Dash is one of the games that people ride and die for. No pun intended with the ride part there.
I was not thinking there was a pun intended, so you didn't actually need to say that to me. But, continue.
So Mario Kart Double Dash, I came from being like absolutely obsessed with Mario Kart 64, and then Mario Kart Double Dash was supposed to be like the be all end all, like, and it just fell so flat for me. Like, I didn't like the maps, the battle mode wasn't as good. I just found myself getting relentlessly pummeled by the environments, by people shooting weapons at me. Just everything that you could hate about Mario Kart was happening all the time in Mario Kart Double Dash. To me, people are going to say I probably sucked at it, but like, even if that was true, the game just wasn't what I expected it to be. Did you play that, by the way?
Double Dash.
Did you say Devil Dash?
Double Dash. Mario Kart.
I hate you.
What? I never played the fucking game, Fred. Sorry.
Did you have a GameCube?
Yeah, I did, but I didn't. Okay, I did, but it was hand me down. It was way later in the life. Okay, I played Mario 64. Sorry, of course, it's fucking not even the right game. I played Mario Kart 64. I played the original Mario Kart SNES. I played Mario Kart on the 3DS, and then I played the newest one, Mario Kart 8.
Mario Kart 8
I didn't even play the Wii one. I didn't play the fucking one on Wii.
You didn't need to. Basically, the only Mario Karts you need to play are Mario Kart 64, Mario Kart 7, and Mario Kart 8.
Oh yeah. 7 introduced the not the parachutes, the
gliders.
The gliders, paragliders.
And 7 was great. It was very, very good. In fact, if 8 didn't exist, I'd be fine because 7 was so good. But yeah, I don't know. It was like Mario Kart Double Dash ended up being more of a party game, but they like overdid it. Mario Kart.
Welcome to the GameCube generation.
Yeah.
But I'm a fucking genius.
Next on your list.
Let's go with Aliens Colonial Marines. Again, it's probably my fault for fucking thinking that franchise games are going to be good at all. But
yeah,
the way fuck you. The way they marketed this was, I mean, because there had been Alien games in the past that were great. Alien vs. Predator 2 was one of the best first-person shooters at the time. It was super competitive around the time that Unreal was a big thing, Unreal Tournament.
Was this the one that was on PC and if you played it as a Predator, you could like cloak yourself and stuff?
Yeah, and you play as a human, you can play as an alien. That's what I'm saying. That was a very popular game, so Aliens has had successful games in the franchise. Even that one that came out a couple years ago where it was like a very sneaky kind of Amnesia-style horror game.
Mm-hmm.
That one was very good. And that was canon with the movies that took place in between Alien and Aliens, where you played as Ripley's daughter in that one. And this was a direct sequel to Aliens, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. And it actually had the voice actor Michael Biehn in it playing Corporal Hicks. So he was Hicks. And he was in the game because Hicks technically died at the end off-screen before Aliens 3, or before Alien 3. And that was just a lazy fucking writing of Alien 3, which was actually directed by David Fincher, oddly enough, which I didn't find out until years later after I watched it. But so Aliens, one of my favorites. This is a direct sequel, and it still had the Marines as part of the storyline. And so this was supposed to take place as the actual third Aliens movie. And I was like, it's great, it's exciting. They have the actors from the movie. The gameplay was cool. It had multiplayer. Turns out, it's a giant piece of shit. And I bought the fucking game. I fucking preloaded. It was one of the first games I had preloaded on my PC. Come to find out, I was an idiot back then. You can return your game within like 36 hours if you haven't played that many hours of it. Fucking Colonial Marines, just a giant piece of shit. I don't like it. I'm unhappy with it. The story sucks.
Did you say Bawa Ba?
Did I just say that again?
No, you didn't. Continue.
Oh, you son of a bitch. But yeah, that's the one that's one on my list. I was very disappointed with the gameplay, the shittiness. It sucked all around.
All right. My next disappointment, and it wasn't because it was a shitty game, it's just because expectations. Final Fantasy VIII.
Yeah, so I'm a little. I mean, this is yours, so you go. But I'm okay. I like this game, but go ahead.
So coming from Final Fantasy VII, it was a very specific game, like the turn-based combat, the overworld, the characters themselves. Also, for me, and some people might get on me for this. This was my first Final Fantasy game, was Final Fantasy VII. So I fell in love with the characters too, and I understood that the characters weren't going to be the same, I mean, I followed this. Anytime there was a magazine with Final Fantasy VIII in it, I bought that magazine just because I wanted to read everything. I wanted to see every picture.
I mean, the gunblade was pretty cool.
The gunblade was cool, and I was like literally obsessed with the game until it came out, and I played it, and then I was like, oh, I don't really like this, and then I just never thought about it again after that. And like I said, it wasn't because it wasn't a good game. It's because that's not the game I was buying. Yeah,
you wanted a lot more open world, I feel, and that to me seemed, that game, at least for the first couple hours, was a lot more structured. You're in that like city, and you can't really go many places. It was kind of clunky on the controls because it was back whenever third-person games, when you were running around, were always I think all of it was fixed cameras. And all of it was back then.
And like, there was no DualShock at the time.
Yeah. And so you actually... Well, it doesn't matter about DualShock. That doesn't matter about the rumble. Or are you talking about like the analog stick?
Analog. That's what I meant. Dual analog.
Well, so the characters actually looked like humans. They weren't just tiny, short motherfuckers like they had been in all the previous Final Fantasy games. So it was a little odd controls. So I do remember that when I played it. It's not that memorable to me, so there is that. The story, though, I never beat it, but the story everyone says is great.
What's your next one?
We're going to talk about the Mighty Number 9, which was by the creator of Mega Man. And if you know me, you know I fucking love Mega Man. That little fucking son of a bitch is amazing. I love the Proto Men, which is a concept progressive rock band that does a more like gritty rated R story of Mega Man. Yeah. I love Mega Man. So when I find out the creator of Mega Man, who is not with Capcom anymore, is making a spiritual successor to the franchise of Mega Man, and it's on Kickstarter, I was like, abso-fucking-lutely. If you go look at the original Kickstarter, Mighty Number 9, original like photos, original art style. If you look that up, I'm Googling it right now. It looks great, because what it looks like is a cartoon, very cel-shaded a little bit, but very detailed anime looking. It looks amazing. Fred, if you can, go Google while you're with me. Mighty Number 9 original art style. Google that and look at the first couple pictures. It looks really cool. Like the shadows, the blur effect they have with like some of the closer up like things in the level.
Are you saying they changed the art style?
They changed the art style. Yes.
Oh yeah, this looks really cool.
See, that looks cool. Then you go to the game. It just looks like a fucking 3D. It looks shitty. It looks like a shitty 3D like Sonic. Like whenever they tried to make Sonic 3D.
But also, do you think because some of these early photos here look a little bit like they weren't real, maybe like they were. Yeah, that wasn't really gameplay. That was just somebody probably drew that. Yeah,
that's bullshit. I thought that's what I was getting. Can you imagine if that would have been the look of the game?
Yeah, but they showed so many trailers leading up to the actual.
I'm telling you, all they had whenever I did the Kickstarter was that picture.
Okay, yeah,
I remember that picture.
What Mighty Number 9 ended up being was like,
it was clunky, it was buggy, it was
crappy
shitty.
Indie platformer.
And it makes me sad because I really wanted that to be like the next Mega Man. And I was like, I don't know if he was forced out or something was the issue with why he left Capcom. And so I was like, and they've been dicking over Mega Man for years. They hadn't put anything out. So he was like, I'm going to make one. And then it turns into this. And I was like, fuck.
Right, so everyone rallied behind him to say like, okay, cool, like, yeah, this is your chance to show the world that like you mattered, and
it was just it was like whenever like Sonic 4 came out. Sonic 4, it's going to be just like the old one, but it's going to have a 3D aesthetic to it. It sucked. It just sucked. It wasn't the same. It didn't feel the same. I would have much rather seen like a detailed anime cartoonish style of Mega Man.
I was disappointed by this game as well, I have to say. So.
Yeah. What's your last one?
So growing up, and I know that you're into this too now, though. I used to be absolutely obsessed with pro wrestling.
Yeah, I've gotten back into it, and I'm not obsessed, but I'll follow what's going on. I got back into it because of like one character, Finn Balor, who I fucking love.
But when I was a kid, into my teenage years, I was totally like honed in on everything wrestling, and especially being a gamer, any time a wrestling video game came out, I was on that. Like very first night that it came out, and I remember one specific game that I was psyched for. Was WCW Nitro. This game came out in 1995. At that time, I was obsessed with wrestling at that time.
Yeah, no, me too. Like the Attitude Era, And that's really, 95 is when it really started, because that was when like Sting was just kind of to come up in the WCW, and that started to be the turn of